What is going on, YouTube? What's up, everybody? I hope everyone's having an amazing Friday. We are only a few days short of the NBA draft, and I recently dropped my big board, my top 14 players, lottery edition of the 2026 NBA draft. So, obviously, I want to do video a little bit more in depth, talk about each prospect, and especially since I'm a Mavs fan and we have the ninth pick, so I've been really in tune in this deep draft, and I'm just ready to dive into it. So let's get right into it. The top four is really controversial, especially with the one and the two pick of like what teams are gonna do and all that. So I am personally not doing a mock draft. I am just what I would do and who are my top players in order, So that's how I'm gonna break it down, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about each player and whatnot. So my number one player in this draft by far is Darryn Peterson out of Kansas. Darryn Peterson, man, he came into the scene. I remember watching some highlights a few years ago, and it's like, this guy is a generational guard prospect. Something I haven't seen since maybe, like, obviously Dylan Harper, I was really high on. Luka, I was high on. Kyrie in 2011. That's kind of like how back I can go. Like, there's only a handful of guys in the past 10, 15, 20 years that are as talented as Darryn Peterson. So I have really high hopes for Darryn Peterson. I think he's going to be amazing. I think he's really a two guard, but I know he could be a good pick and roll ball handler and facilitate. I know he didn't show that a lot in Kansas, but his Kansas team wasn't that good. So when you get him on the NBA floor, being able to have guys in the corners and the wings making plays, he'll definitely get some assists. So I'm looking forward for that. And number two, I have Cam Boozer out of Duke. Cam Boozer reminds me a lot of like Kevin Love, and I know a lot of the comparisons have him like that also. So I think that's a good comparison for him. Obviously, his dad is a hell of a player, was a hell of a player, and I don't see anything different with Cam Boozer. I think he's going to be really, really good, really special. Just depends on fit, how that goes. So yeah, I got Cam Boozer 2. Number 3, I got AJ Dybantsa. I know a lot of people have number 1. Me personally, I just don't know. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for him. I don't see him as ready as Cooper Flag was. And obviously, I'm a big Cooper Flag fan. But yeah, I think AJ is going to be really good. I just don't know if his ceiling is as high as Darryn Peterson or Cam Boozer, So me personally, I got him 3. Number 4, I got Caleb Wilson. No surprises. I know a lot of people got him number 4. And man, for a while, I wanted to put Caleb Wilson above Cam Boozer, so I even had him as high as 2 on some of my early like big boards, But once like things settle down, I have him here at number 4. I think he's a wing. I think he's a two-way monster, and if he gets that shot, he'll be, potentially a top 5 player in the world, top 10 player in the world. So he'll be really good. Now we're going to tier 2, where kind of the draft takes a little bit of a turn. These are still great players with high ceilings that can still be all-stars and all-NBA, but it's just not for sure because all these guys can't pan out. It's damn near impossible. So yeah, so my favorite from this bunch, number 5, I got Mikel Brown Jr. out of Louisville. Mikel Brown Jr. is a really interesting prospect. I know he had like the back issue this year, but I would love him on the Mavs with Cooper Flag, But, out of Louisville, a lot of people saw him like, obviously Donovan Mitchell went to Louisville, and people were already claiming Mikel Brown Jr. as like the best player ever at Louisville, So he had really high hopes. Obviously didn't exceed them, but I think he's going to play a better game in the NBA. And I just see him as an offensive engine that can score 20, 25, maybe even 30 points a game and give you 8, 9, 10 assists. I think he's amazing. So number 6, I got Darius Acuff. I think what people also forget about Darius Acuff, I know he's a little bit undersized, but John Calipari has produced a lot of great NBA guards that we see today. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Devin Booker, just to name a few. So I think Darius Acuff is really intriguing. He's obviously not my cup of tea, but I think he's really good, and I would like to see him on the Kings. My buddy's a big Kings fan, so I hope he gets Darius Acuff. Number 7, I got Keaton Wagler, 6'6", combo guard out of Illinois. I think he's intriguing prospect. It's kind of hard to gauge a comparison for him. I think it's really tough because there's no one quite like him. He's a tall, lengthy shooter, but his instincts in the pick and roll and how to manipulate defenses, it's just something I haven't really seen. So it's really hard to get a read on him, but I think he's going to be really good. I think it's going to take a little bit of time for him to get there, but I think when he gets there, he could definitely be All-NBA player, face of a franchise, offensive engine, all that good stuff. Number 8, I got Kingston Flemings out of Houston. So Kingston Flemings is from San Antonio, not too far where I'm from, and I remember hearing about him, but he wasn't supposed to be the number 1 player at that Houston team. It was supposed to be Chris Nack. That's mocked around, 15 to 20 range. I think he's really good, by the way. But Kingston had an incredible freshman season at Houston, and I remember he was jumping off the screen for me when I was watching him. I was like, man, this kid is fast. He can get to any spot he wants. He can shoot. He can put the ball in the hole. He's a good free throw shooter. He can really pass well. I think that kid has all the talent in the world, and I think he's extremely coachable, and he has good defensive instincts under Kelvin Sampson. So I think he's going to be really, really good. That's another potential guy we can get at the Mavs. So number 9, I got Braydon Burries. Braydon Burries really reminds me, like everyone says, Derek White. I think he's just an incredible he's definitely a 2 guard. I'm not going to say like he could be like a 1 and like a lead ball handler and all that, but he reminds me of like that Steph Castle kind of role, Derek White kind of role, like the complementary kind of player role. And I think he's going to be great. And I think he's one of the safer prospects with a higher floor, lower ceiling. But I think he's going to be a really, really good quality starter, potential all-star type of guy. Number 10, I got Yaxel Lendeborg. Yaxel Lendeborg reminds me of like a prime PJ Washington, like just like a do-it-all wing that could defend 1 through 5, can space the floor, can put the ball in the hole, can drive on closeouts. I see that at Yaxel's game, and I know he's a little bit older, so that's why I have him at 10. But if he was 20, 19 like these guys, he's probably 5 or 6, honestly. I think he's special, and it depends, like you want him to go to like a win-down team, maybe like a Golden State, Miami, something like that. But I just don't know how far he would fall down. So, yeah, number 11, I got Labaron Philon. Labaron Philon is a really intriguing prospect. I know he could have been a number 1 pick last year, but he decided to go back, improved his efficiency from the field and everything, and he had a great year. So he's definitely going to go in the lottery. 6'3" guard out of Bama. Really shifty, can really put the ball in the hole. Reminds me kind of like D'Angelo Russell. I like D'Angelo Russell, especially like D'Angelo Russell like in Brooklyn. Just real shifty, he can score, can pass. I see him like that. Number 12, I got Karim Lopez. Karim Lopez is looking to be one of the first, or the first Mexican prospect drafted into the first round, much less like the lottery. I think he can go in the lottery. So I have him here at 11 on my board. I'm sorry, at 12 on my board. 6'10" forward from New Zealand Breakers. I think he has a really high ceiling. I think reminds me kind of like a young Brandon Ingram. I know he has some comps like Zachary Reese-Sachet, but even like if Reese-Sachet pans out, that's a 20, 25 point a game scorer, like that Brandon Ingram type of like archetype, So that's why I see Karim Lopez. Number 13, I got Aday Mara. Let me tell you, Mara went from someone not in my top 20 to jumping up to my lottery. So he's a really intriguing big because he's very mobile. He can even shoot. And what I love about him is his passing ability. The only like skepticism that I have about him is like if you look at his minutes back when he was at UCLA and even on the Michigan teams, he's not playing over 30 minutes a game. So I don't know if he has if he can get his body right and get that minute load, he could definitely be a starting 5. But I just don't know how long it would take or if his body can handle it, because with these bigs, it's kind of hard. Like, look at Zach Edey, just name a few. Even my guy Derek Lively hasn't been healthy. So it's kind of hard for these bigs to, stay healthy and all that. So, now to end my lottery off, number 14, I got Ament. 6'10" forward out of Tennessee. Nate Ament is really intriguing. Kind of reminds me also of Karim Lopez, but I got Karim Lopez a little bit higher because Karim is a little bit stronger. He obviously went to go play with the New Zealand Breakers, so he has a little bit more physicality, and I think Nate Ament's going to take some time, especially because he needs to gain some weight. He has a big frame. He can score. Again, it's like that Brandon Ingram archetype. I think he could really shoot the ball really well, so that's really good. It's just going to take some time with him. But obviously, if we look back in a few years, maybe he was one of the best players of this draft. But this is just my board. This is my top 14. So yeah, guys, I'm really excited. I wanted to take a few minutes just to talk about these players and see what I think, a little bit of like comparisons and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so any questions down below, shoot them to me. I'll leave my Instagram in the description, my Twitter, my TikTok, obviously my YouTube. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. Peace.